Okay. Oh shit. Well, we here. Shit, Renz.
Yeah, what's happening, bro?
Man, I appreciate you having me here for this, but shoot, let's jump into it, man. You got the album out?
Yes.
Out now?
Yes, out now.
Been out?
Been out.
Man, you know, we doing this for this, but searching, tell me about it. First, you know, what was your mindset going into this project?
For the first time, I wanted to mostly like spend a big chunk of time working on it, because I had never worked on a project before where I have obviously, but like it's been a few years since I had did a body of work where I actually spent a year working on it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure from the beginning that I spent a long time working on it. So, and then the thought process behind everything was to just do everything differently. Like I wanted to create something that not only in the music part of it, but like how I put it out, how I did things. I just wanted to do everything in a way that I didn't really do before and make myself uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was my mindset going into it.
Right.
So the music kind of followed that sound of just like, what could I do here? What could I do a little different? Like, let me actually let the beat play for a little bit, because I never used to do stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I know, because I've been in the lab, I see you lock in and get to it. What is spending a year doing a project versus, like, I've seen you and other artists be like, you know what, I got to get these 3 songs out because I'm trying to put this out by.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the difference of locking in for a year?
Mostly it's, you get better songs because you sit with them for longer, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And I did put songs out in between, you know what I'm saying? And like little Lucy's I had made in between the time, you know what I'm saying? But I would say the music, you just get a little bit more, you pay a little bit more attention to detail. You like, okay, like I became the person like, oh, that snare not hitting right. Let me turn it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I usually always made fun of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I tried to become that person and be like, okay, the snare not too loud, or the bass ain't hitting right on this song, or the bass hitting too hard where it's cluttering up the vocal and cluttering up the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the benefit you get when you work on something for so long. And with me, because I make beats, it's like, and I'm actually making my beats. I'm not like saying, I'm not bringing a whole bunch of people together all the time. It's most of the time it really just be me. You know what I'm saying? So like having that, like, okay, this, or if I get 2 songs that are too similar, now I can go back and be like, okay, let me change this snare, that give it a different vibe, keep all the vocals, keep all the shit, but change some instruments to make it a little different. So like that's the benefit that you get when you take more time. You just get to lock in. And that's not even to mention the mix and mastering part of it that take piss you off the most. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, let's dive into the project. Like, where were you at when you was making it? You know, every artist got their mental space, and you jumped into it. And I mean, we had conversations where every time we have a conversation, there's different mental space. I remember we was at the spot, not to be named, and you was like, you know what? Like, fuck it, I'm gonna give them the club hit that they want. Like, I'm gonna just do it. Like, so we was in the club, like, we was right there at the club. You like, I'm gonna just give them this. Like, if that's what the people want. So where was your head at when you going into this?
One, like I said, was to do everything differently. So to try to make songs that are a little bit different than I normally would do. I've always been like the motivational guy when it comes to what I'm actually saying. So I didn't necessarily want to leave that, but I just wanted to start saying it in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to keep saying, go hard till you can't, or just the stock motivational things.
No sleep.
Yeah, you know, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wanted to kind of steer away from that because I felt like I used to do that a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get away from that. So that opened up a broad range. And of course, from the last time I dropped a full body of project, I'm way older now. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to grow with age and your content is going to change, you know what I'm saying?
Talk about them grown man bars.
The grown man bars is a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta have them now.
Yeah, and I appreciate them and I strive to have them, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it's important. So to incorporate that more into my music and to make sure that I'm not saying my same story the same way, you know what I'm saying? Obviously I've lived a life, but every time you tell it, you gotta kind of add some or give it a new perspective. As you get new perspectives as you get older, it's good to record. It's good to say those perspectives.
Like, give them to the people.
Exactly. You know, you might look at something totally differently 4 years later, and now you might appreciate that or resent that. You know what I'm saying? So just to kind of put that in the music more. You know what I'm saying? And to production-wise, I had to test myself a lot. because I always tell people I learned how to make beats backwards. You know what I'm saying? I started sampling. You know what I'm saying? Usually people hop right on FL, you know what I'm saying? They click in the tickers, you know what I'm saying? And then that's how they get in it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they learn from there. But I actually started sampling the hard way first. And so trying to retract has always been a thing for me. Like trying to make a song like The Candy, you know what I'm saying? That's a task for me. That's not an easy beat.
Make it something simple.
Exactly.
Simple, but
you know what I'm saying? But it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a feat for me to be able to make that beat. You know what I'm saying? It was a feat for me to, you know what I'm saying, to sample that Jamie Foxx song. Like I tried that for 2 or 3 years, like, you know what I'm saying, before I actually made a beat that I liked.
And with you controlling everything, usually people get a team around them. Like, I mean, people, I mean, and it's growing, but people is gonna make the beat, control the visuals. You did your album artwork.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. Woo! I didn't make that. I couldn't do that.
Tell them, that shit?
I appreciate you.
3 of these.
So okay, that's a good question. So what I've been doing lately, bro, is I use social media how I want to use it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, I follow a lot of dope graphic designers on Twitter, like a whole lot. Like if I see something at least kind of good, I'm gonna follow you. You know what I'm saying? So I came across the dude who was doing. I had the idea to maybe do 3D something. You know what I'm saying? So I ran across somebody. Their work came across me on Twitter, and then I literally was like, "That's kind of the 3D I'm looking for." I just hit him and chopped it up, and we talked about ideas. Dog was from Europe or something like that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, and I just, you know what I'm saying, told him my idea. He made it. You know what I'm saying? That's like, nuts. So that's kind of so. But going back to what you were saying about, you know what I'm saying, doing everything myself. That's not always. I don't always want to do everything myself. Right. Sometimes it's obviously out of necessity, but it's like in ease. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time it's out of ease, but it's like I don't always want to do that. I don't always want to make my own beats. I don't always want to. I like recording myself. That process I think I like the most. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really always want to make my own beats. I don't want to mix my own songs all the time. I don't want to master them all the time. I send plenty people or bring plenty people through like, hey, how this sound? What you think I should turn up? Even if I don't necessarily agree with it, sometimes I just listen to the person. Sometimes I'm like, you know what I'm saying, maybe my ear's dying, or, you know what I'm saying, I've been down here for 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been down here for 12 hours, man. So look, I've been listening to what he said. He just got here.
Yeah,
you know
gotta take that in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so that's mostly it, what I was trying to do and what my mindset was, just make it different. How can I do something different?
I guess speaking about your features, you got the label, you got the organization, the crew, vocal part. Bringing them in, putting them on songs, figuring out how that was gonna go. Talk to me about that.
A lot of that is a little different. The original plan is to do some stuff based off the album with them more involved, but that's something that, you know what I'm saying, that's something that's coming down the line. But you know, Cam don't live in Milwaukee no more, so we gotta, you know what I'm saying, communicate that way, you know what I'm saying? But everybody else, and Drew not here no more either, you know what I'm saying? So they moved out of the city, you know what I'm saying? And that's great for them, you know what I'm saying? So it was important to keep them around, but they always around. It's not like, even if they not on those songs, we talk every day. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like them really like my brothers. So it's like really just making sure that they are part of the process, which they were. You know what I'm saying? Even if they not on those songs, they heard like 70% of it before it was done.
And is that how y'all selected, like where you wanted them to fit in, or did you have a song in mind? Like,
I usually have songs in mind. I usually have a song in mind. You know what I'm saying? That story funny because it took him a long time to send it because I'm an artist too. He an artist similar in the sense that we work in waves. So like usually you making this type of music for this amount of time. You making this type of music. I operate like that to the fullest. So like, and he liked that too. So when I sent it to him, he was not in that vibe. So then right when it was getting closer to the time, he was in feeling it, and he just sent a bunch of great shit. So you know what I'm saying? So it worked. Everybody involved always. All of us are involved in everybody project.
Right. Did you watch him?
No, he watched me. I say he watched me. I like my verse, but that nigga can sing.
Like it's always, and like I always wanted to, like, and you know, I'm interviewing you for a reason. Who are you better than? Like, put it.
No, you went there.
Yeah, but it's not like you know what?
I feel like I'm better than everybody though. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I can rap better, like write raps and say them better than a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like. So that's not really the question. I don't even factor that in as much no more. You know what I'm saying?
It used to be a thing though.
Yeah, it definitely used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely declined in the sense of importance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's still important to me and a lot of people that if we really came down to it, who could write raps better without harmonizing, without, you know what I'm saying, who could really do that, you know what I'm saying? And I take a whole lot of pride in that. You know what I'm saying?
How you fight that, I'm gonna really get on here and rap as opposed to making the song?
I would say, you know what? It kind of all depends on how I'm feeling at the time, you know what I'm saying? But I would say, I make my own beats so I can dictate that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times I've been sitting on the idea most of the day and then I come home and I'll be like, okay, let me see how this sounds. You know what I'm saying? So, or I'm in a mood where I'm like, I'm about to just spaz the fuck out, or somebody made me mad or something or something made me mad where I just know I'm about to just go off because I feel like it. So yeah, but it is a hard little line to cross of how much of the bars you can really put in there and how much you got to mix. That's if somebody figure out that perfect combination, then they won. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's no real, you know what I'm saying, the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's always going to be a struggle with that, of how many issues to make versus how many, you know what I'm saying, design to make, or, you know what I'm saying, flowers versus, you know what I'm saying, even blame. There's always going to be that, okay, when should I do it, when should I not? But that's the point of it, you know what I'm saying?
So then talk to me about the bangers versus the emotional versus the grown man versus everything. You wanted to include it all, you got it all, and it don't feel like a wave of an album. It's like all of this is one process and you're going through this with me. So talk to me about it.
A lot, so like I said, I took a while to make it, so when I make my music in waves, you know what I'm saying, like I made a bunch of bangers at the same time, and then I made a bunch of deeper songs because I was in that bag at that time, and, you know what I'm saying, but when it came to picking the project, I mostly just picked from the songs that, okay, it was about 13 songs on there, it was about 25 that I knew was quality enough to go on it.
You just had 25 songs in the tuck?
Bro, I got a note in my phone, bro, full of, I can show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you off camera, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you spend a year, you gonna put it out maybe 2-3 months later, and now you listen to something old, you putting out dated music.
Yeah, and then, exactly, and it's like, you know what I'm saying, music changed so much music is getting released, you know what I'm saying, and it's like, you have to know what's going on, because that's how niggas get washed, you know what I'm saying, they stop listening, you know what I'm saying, they stop listening to the...
You be the last one to know.
It be way too late, man.
But what outside of your music and the music you was trying to create, what vibe of music were you in when you was putting this together?
I wanted to have a song, I wouldn't say for everybody, I don't really do that no more. I didn't really care to have a song for everybody, but I wanted a song where I said everything. Okay. So I wanted to have a song where I touched all the things that were important, you know what I'm saying? And so that's, you know, important with me and important going on. So that's kind of how I did that.
That's how you approach. Yeah. Now, for those who don't know and haven't seen you live, like you're a performance artist.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's crazy for you to say that.
Yeah, like, cause I mean, people who know, like, you know, if you come to a showcase and Renz on the showcase, like, yeah, it's gonna take a minute for him to set up. Like, he got shit for you, might be a smoke machine, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna be lights, you know what I'm saying? He gonna have a bandana tied around the microphone.
I don't be doing that.
When you made this, like, what was the song you was like, this one is gonna perform?
I be talking a whole lot, so like I knew the Candy was gonna do well because I can introduce it and talk. That give me a minute before the song and a minute after to get my point across. You know what I'm saying? I would say that song, Issues, I knew was gonna go off. That's like the song you could play in between the sets, before the set. That's gonna go off in the show. Period. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to perform. I can't wait to get in front of a crowd where I can perform Addresses. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the one I was looking for. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, but that's one of the ones you can't perform on that big stage. You gotta like, you know what I'm saying? We've got one to make. I like to listen to. I'm here to listen to rap.
Yeah, people gotta.
You listen to Address. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So those like the biggest ones. You know what I'm saying? And Renz up from the north too. So I'm gonna find a way to incorporate that verse into my set, whether the beat playing or not.
Right. So then, as you working and as things are coming out, you tell me ideally. Working the project, what's gonna happen that's gonna be like, you know what, it clicked for me, and now this is the one that unlocks your entire catalog.
You know what's funny is that I don't see that as being like something that I do musically.
Okay.
for me, it's gonna be social media, fam. I haven't cracked it, and it's been on purpose. Like, I don't care for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that's, and we from that cloth where it's like, we fuck with it, but we don't really fuck with it. Like, we didn't grow up with it. We not on the internet like that. Like, we not there on the internet looking for anything emotional. You know what I'm saying? That make, you know what I'm saying? We just there for the jokes. You know what I'm saying? So like, but social media is a excellent tool when it comes to promoting anything that you have or putting anything in front of the people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's gonna be my next step, is to really master social media and use it in a way that benefits me instead of kind of as just something that's there, you know what I'm saying, that I kind of see as an annoyance. You know what I'm saying?
And your visual.
Yeah, and visuals, you know what I'm saying?
That's what we expect.
Yeah, so, and that's the reason why I didn't say that visuals was the biggest thing for me next.
Yeah.
It's utilizing social media the right way and utilizing these platforms and these DSPs the right way, you know what I'm saying, that benefit me, because what's on nowadays is, and that's the $1 million question, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think social media is the catalyst of what people think are on nowadays. People don't know, you know what I'm saying? There is no on no more. That's the crazy part. We spend so much time trying to get on, but like, there is no on. We make on, you know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite song on the project to you?
I would say, it's like a tie. Little Black Boy, and I would say, probably The Candy, just because I had something I wanted to accomplish before I made it, and then I was actually able to execute it. So that's probably what I would say. And then Little Black Boy, I was sad as a bitch during that time. I was sad and wrote a bunch of sad raps, man, you know what I'm saying? So, and then that actually signified me being able to not be sad no more, which was like one of the first times ever happening to me. But
did that song actually alleviated?
Yeah, that was one of the first times that ever happened to me. You know what's funny is a lot of those things I stood away from because I always thought it was like, you know, I didn't connect with when people told me them stories. I thought they was corny. You know what I'm saying? I didn't connect to them because I never looked at it that way. But all those corny things started happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, so them was the ones.
So lastly, let me ask you this. You are a Milwaukee artist.
Yeah.
Do you think you fit in with the Milwaukee artists?
I don't think that has a definition no more. I don't think that has a definition anymore. I don't think the term Milwaukee artist is so broad now in my eyes because my scope is wide. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've been only paying attention to the whole scene for a long period of time now. Now, if I was a consumer only in one thing, I probably would only listen to one side of music. But to me, Milwaukee artist has no definition, but that's just how I look at it in my experience and how I treat music. You know what I'm saying? Now, is there a certain genres of music in Milwaukee that are more popular than others? Yes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I still rate those people and critique, not necessarily critique, but you know what I'm saying, listen to that music the same way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to Lil Chicken the same way I listen to Drew, or you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna listen to, you know what I'm saying, Bond the same way I listen to Mike Kellogg. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to these people the same way. I'm gonna listen to Dooch the same way I listen to Webster X. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and judge it based on what they making, you know what I'm saying, versus, you know, always each other or, you know what I'm saying, or Drake or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. All right. What you want to tell the people about it one time, right before they listen to it? If they gonna listen to this and then go listen to the project, what they about to step into, what you want them to know?
A whole lot of rapping, fam. A whole lot of rapping. I wouldn't even use the word bars. I'd just say it's a whole lot of rapping, fam. Like, it's just a lot of rapping. And if you're not a fan of like rapping, then you ain't gonna like it, fam. Yeah. Like at the last minute, I debated putting more singing on there. And then I was like, nah, I'm good, fam. That's what it meant is on there for. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that wasn't even supposed to be on there. That kind of just gave you a little break from the rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that's what I tell somebody. Like, yeah, I'm like a rapper's rapper. Yeah. So like, if you like raps, I'm gonna be saying that. You know.
Yeah, and I can let you know, we was at Everyday Studio listening to it, Dooch, myself, and Rizzy. And as soon as the beat come on, Rizzy was like, "Oh, that boy about to rap." Like, you can feel it.
Like some Rizzy
you can feel it. Like, yeah. So I mean, hey, listen, it's well received. People fucking with it. If you haven't got it, go get it. Renz, appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you for being here, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Came in the clutch, bro. Shout out to y'all, bro. Y'all my people.
Cameraman, making it happen.
Yeah, that's it, bro.